Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Lieutenant Governor made her way through the mountains yesterday, bringing funding and more to Eastern Kentucky. And as the fall semester is settling in, the University of Kentucky has promised to increase safety patrols across campus.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on September 21st. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, we are seeing those cooler temperatures. I know I came in bundled up this morning, but it won't stay like that all day.
No, it's going to be much warmer a little bit later on. Now, again, like I did at 5, let me go ahead and apologize for my voice. I'm getting a little touch of laryngitis. I feel fine. It's just the voice is trying to go just a little bit. So we're going to hopefully get you through the forecast without any breaks here. But you're right, a little chilly this morning, a little foggy in some spots. So just be ready for that this morning, and then be ready for some warmth this afternoon. 54. Need to refocus that camera there on Buffalo Mountain, but it is a little fog in the valleys there, and you'll see the temperatures have not moved a whole lot. Now we have dropped a couple of degrees in Moorhead, it looks like. So now Monticello is the warm spot. Moorhead was at 63 just a couple of minutes ago, but it's basically 50 to 62. 50 Clintwood, 62 Monticello, 61 Moorhead, 60 Jackson. So again, we are warmer than we were yesterday by all means, but again, it's just one of those situations where it's still on the 50s in a lot of areas and close to the 40s in Clintwood. A little extra coffee as you head out the door this morning, and we'll head up to about 81 later today. So again, not a bad looking day. The only difference today that we've been seeing from the last few days is we'll add a few more clouds into the mix today with that sunshine. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. Kentucky's debate over abortion access intensified yesterday as Governor Andy Beshear's campaign released a new TV ad, pounding away at his rival's long-standing support for the state's abortion ban and opposition to exceptions for rape and incest until this week.
Anyone who believes there should be no exceptions for rape and incest could never understand what it's like to stand in my shoes. This is to you, Daniel Cameron.
The pointed ad features a young woman from Owensboro who reveals her childhood trauma while slamming the GOP nominee. Right now, the state's ban does not include exceptions for rape and incest. This week, Attorney General Daniel Cameron appeared to reverse his stance in a radio interview, saying he would support a new law with abortion exceptions. The Beshear campaign released the ad just days after the comments. Cameron responded to the ad yesterday as well.
It's unfortunate, but Andy Beshear is running the most despicable campaign in Kentucky history. Now, he lectures us on partisanship and unity, then runs disgusting false attacks. I've said if the legislature were to bring me a bill with exceptions, I would sign it.
The candidates both went before the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce yesterday evening. They appeared separately and answered questions in front of the state's largest business group in Louisville. Social media posts from the Kentucky Chamber last night indicate both discussions generally centered economic and public safety issues. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman made several stops in the mountains yesterday, from Magoffin County's fiscal courtroom to several Floyd County classrooms. WYMT's Buddy Forbes followed the Coleman caravan and has more about the visit.
And it's hard to live in Eastern Kentucky. And this is just one small piece to help make life just a little bit easier, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. For me, I'm a rural Kentuckian, and so I know what it's like when you grow up in a community and you feel like you see progress going on all around you. And you wonder when it's going to come to your hometown.
Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman brought 2 new investments to Magoffin County Wednesday.
A total more than $400,000 coming right here to this community.
With a more than $350,000 check for road resurfacing and $65,000 for recycling and solid waste efforts.
It helps keep trash and things out of our creeks and beside the road.
After her stop in Salyersville, she visited the Mountain Arts Center for an emergency management conference before heading to Martin to see the state's investment in action.
I've spent my life in the classroom before I became lieutenant governor, and so I know that the future of this booming economy we're building in Kentucky is in our classrooms today. So to be able to interact with students, and they're just always so impressive.
With a tour of the Floyd County Area Technology Center and the School of Innovation, school officials say it was a great way to highlight their success and show their struggles to those who can enact change.
To see what we're doing and to make what we want to happen for our students a priority. You know, we apply for funding, we apply for everything, but we are totally out of space to offer any more pathways. And you know, the visit to the Area Technology Center was primarily to let them see that we have the second oldest ATC built in Kentucky.
Coleman says it was a day of filling needs and finding more.
All this is about the future. Nothing that we're doing has anything to do with red or blue, Democrat or Republican.
Using today to build a better tomorrow. Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
During the visit, Coleman also spoke to students in Magoffin County who had questions about her role and the government. She says there may have been some future WYMT reporters in the courtroom. Former Kentucky Governor Brereton Jones will lie in state next Monday. Jones died earlier this week at the age of 84. He was governor from 1991 to 1995 and lieutenant governor before that. His visitation will be from 10 to 7 in the Capitol Rotunda. Governor Beshear has directed that flags at all state office buildings be lowered to half staff. Folks using US 23 in Pike County will begin to see a resurfacing project moving to a new phase soon. Officials at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say the repaving project will move starting next week to the section of highway between the Kentucky 1460 overpass near Bob Amos Park and end in Island Creek. That is a mile-long stretch of road. The changes in traffic patterns will begin next Monday. KYTC says drivers should expect delays. As the fall semester is now in full swing at the University of Kentucky, officials with the school's police department say they are increasing patrols. They are adding more of a police presence to keep students safe with their biggest enrollment ever. Students from all across the nation and some even overseas are walking through the university's campus. The police chief is reassuring there will be more security, especially in the dorms.
To be safe and responsible. You know, here in the past couple years, you've seen parties that have gone, had something bad happen at them. So what we're trying to do is make sure that everything is safe in those neighborhoods. People are being responsible and treating those neighborhoods with respect.
There will be more patrols on and off campus Wednesdays through Saturday. Kentucky Power awarded a $100,000 grant to eCammy in Johnson County. The institute is a high-tech manufacturing school. The grant will allow officials to buy state-of-the-art computer software and 40 new computers to conduct training for eCammy students.
Just after 6:08 here on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve, let's take a look and see what's going on over at UVA Wise. And things are fairly quiet over there this morning across the campus over there in Southwest Virginia. Looking again at some current temperatures, it is 55 in Wise right now, 55 also Irvin. And in Williamsburg this morning, 53 Manchester, 50 in Clintwood, 60 Jackson, 61 Moorhead, and 62 in Monticello. Weather out forecast for today. Mix of sun and clouds. We're going to be seeing that again across parts of the area, and temperatures heading into the low 80s a little bit later on as we see another dry day on tap for us across the mountains. Olivia?
All right. Thank you, Brandon. And thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, Congress looks to tackle the rural health care emergency. The bipartisan Rural Health Caucus met yesterday to discuss their solutions for improving health care.